everyone. This is Jose Baeza, and we got the amazing Roselyn Omaka with Antonio Hernandez here. And we're going to be discussing so many great funding options, but we have a lot of projects, we have a lot of things to do, and that we would love to share. So, why don't we go ahead and introduce ourselves? Roselyn, do you want to go ahead and get started?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Roselyn Omaka, and I am the CEO of the Omaka Agency, and I am the founder of the nonprofit Bolanle.
I love it.
And yeah,
Yes, go ahead. What is Bolanle, by the way, before we move to Antonio?
Bolanle, I'm Nigerian. Bolanle is a Yoruba Nigerian name. Yoruba is the tribe, even though I'm Igbo. I love that name because it means finds wealth at home.
Wow.
So I created an organization where we could essentially have our own ecosystem where we can support people of color in their businesses, where we are able to, that are movers and shakers, people that are doing something to impact society outside of themselves. And we want to help bring them visibility and also bring them the right support and resources because many times people in our communities don't have that support, and we want to help them along that journey so that way they're not lost and they can empower themselves to make the next step.
Wow. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
What about you, Antonio? Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Hi, my name is Antonio Hernandez, and I'm the CEO and owner of the Investor Funding.com or Investor Funding, which we specialize in fix and flip loans, rental loans, everything for investors. Also, we can do mixed use, multi-unit, but mostly, we help people from the beginners to the movers and shakers to the people who already owns 20, 30, 50, 100 properties to get funding. And that's what we do every day. I'm an investor myself, so I do fix and flips and I own some rentals. So I have an idea of what a new investor or an seasoned investor is looking, because we've been there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you, Rosalind, because I love everything you're doing, and I want to thank you personally for hosting us here and sponsoring us, of course. And I love the partnership that we've created because there is a bigger mission out there, and it's about helping entrepreneurs, helping people that are looking to get started. And so I definitely am very excited that we can, put some time in place to answer some of these questions that not just you have, but also that some of your followers, some of your clients, some of the people that you're helping that have. And I would be glad to answer those. And just to give everyone a glimpse of a little bit of myself, my name's Jose Baeza. I am the founder and CEO of eFunding Experts. And we specialize in raising capital for entrepreneurs. We do it through partnerships, we do it through affiliate programs, white label programs, and my biggest thing is about networking. That's why we have great partnerships such as Rosalind and Antonio Hernandez that is out here just, kicking it, looking to figure out ways to get access to money. So I'm really happy. Thank you so much, Rosalind.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really excited to talk with you guys. So I'm pretty sure all the listeners, they are ready to hear different options for what they can do to move forward in their investment goals and opportunities.
Love it. So yeah, why don't we get started? Like, see, what is one of the questions that one of some of your clients and people that have been asking?
Yes. So I have about 8 questions that I am prepared to ask you today. And the very first question is, can new real estate investors qualify? Brand spanking new.
I love it. Yes. The answer is yes. Everybody gets started somehow. And I'm going to go ahead and allow Antonio to dip in on this in a little bit because one of the biggest things that we work with is that we work with so many different types of entrepreneurs, including startups, whether it be a restaurant or any type of business. But real estate investors, primarily, they come to us because, again, they need access to funding. And if anyone were to go directly to a bank, it's not like the bank's gonna go ahead and say, "Hey, here's $100,000. Good luck investing in this property. I know that you have no experience, but we trust that you'll pay us." It doesn't happen that way. And Antonio, what about you? What do you agree with that? And also, can you help kind of add to that question?
Sure, yeah, I'm agree with that, because and a lot of people come to me and then they say, well, I went to my local bank and they didn't give me anything because the house is not livable. So we specialize, and with the partnership with Jose and e-funding, we work with first-time investors, and we kind of, hold them by the hand and tell them, this is what you need to do. It usually, and I was telling Jose and everybody this morning that you're gonna need an LLC. So it is a lot of the banks they're not gonna give you money in your personal name. Especially when you're buying a property to invest. And secondly, you need to have a decent credit. And the third thing is you need to have some money. Some down payment. And even if you don't have the money for down payment, that's where um, Jose is going to come in and give you some, loans or some kind of lines of credit so you can start and get the money for the down payment. And then, we'll come in and give you the money for the purchase and we'll give you the money for the rehab. So it's a good question. And, that's what we do. We help new investors to, become experts in this, So, yeah, so they're welcome. We work with them and like I say, we start by teaching them that credit is a plus. Money, you need to have some money, or at least some people who can be your partners. They had money, so um, they don't have to do this by themselves. There is money available. If you don't have the credit, if you don't have the money, somebody else has the credit or the money. And you can do a partnership or you can do an LLC with two people. One will put the money, the other will put the credit. So it's doable.
Absolutely. And one other thing that I want to add to that is that, see, when it comes to raising capital and getting started, like Antonio said, there's so many different ways to getting access to the money that even someone that has no experience, that perhaps maybe they don't have anything in their savings, they can still go out there and invest for the first time. Here's how that can be achieved. First and foremost, we have programs that are not in alignment with themselves. So it means that they have nothing to do with each other. So we figure out a plan to piece out a deal. Like, say that we have a brand new real estate investor and they have good credit, they have a good job, they don't have necessarily savings for a real estate deal. We'll go ahead and raise the money on term loans, credit lines. We'll provide, like, say, up to $500,000 in cash with no collateral. And then we'll go ahead and put it together with hard money loans. We'll put it together with other types of funding programs that are real estate based. And now we got a deal that has been 100% financed with no money, none of their money out of pocket. See, there's ways to doing that. And that's what we
That's
specialize.
huge.
Absolutely. You're looking for a completely, you have a whole team in your back pocket.
Yeah,
Essentially, yes.
and everybody thinks when somebody says no, no money down, that doesn't mean there's your money. It can be somebody else's money, the bank's money. So it just means you're not coming up with all the money to do the deal. And
Ab-
we can find it as 100%. And there is ways to do it. You just need to know how, and that's why we're here. That's where Jose or myself, we done this before, so we can help a lot of people.
Education is definitely key. And the next question that I wanted to ask, since we spoke about credit and the importance of it, and if you don't have the credit or right credit partner, what is the minimum credit score for someone
Absolutely.
just getting started that you would accept?
Yes. So there's so many different credit scores out there that have different programs. And one thing that we want to keep in mind is that the better the credit, the better rates you'll get, and the higher the approval process that's going to be. So ideally, we want to see at least a 680, right? Doesn't mean that you won't qualify for anything less. If you don't have a 680, doesn't mean that you won't qualify. ideally we would love to go ahead and see at least a 680 because it's going to allow you to give you better rates. You're going to get funded in so many different places. You'll have more options. But we could really work with anyone with a 620, and that's kind of stretching it because you're talking about the lowest, like barely qualifying. And 620 credit scores, we're talking more towards SBA loans, things of that nature. 650 scores are more geared towards like hard money loans and loans that require more collateral in a way sometimes. Then 680, you get more options. Even if you don't have a 620 or a 650, you can always go through some of our credit restoration programs. Now, I do have to go ahead and say that we are not a credit repair company, but here's the thing, and this is one of the things that I believe in, and this is what makes us a great company, is that we are not great at everything. All right. That doesn't mean that me, myself, I'm an expert in credit repair, I'm an expert in funding, I'm an expert I can't be an expert in everything, but I sure know the right partnerships. And so we have departments within our company that specialize in that area. So that way, when you do come to us, let's say for credit repair, you're not dealing with me that's an expert in funding. You're dealing with my underwriter that's an expert in credit restoration. And the reason we do it that way, Roslyn, is because at the end of the day, the whole purpose of doing this is to get access to money. So anyone that's looking at this particular video, even if you don't meet that criteria and you still want to go through the funding process, you can always go through our credit restoration program, and we would be sure to make it to where you can actually get funded. Um, yes.
You helped answer a lot of questions that I already had that I knew some people were asking. And the one question, can you do 100% financing for real estate investing? I know you kind of said it a few different ways using other people's money, Antonio, but that was one question just straight up. Can you, or is it back to that original answer you had gave before?
Yeah, in it's, a lot of the lenders, they require at least 20% down payment and they'll give you 100% of the rehab. So the 20% down payment doesn't mean that it need to be your money. Like Jose was saying, it can be a line of credit. It can be somebody, is working with you in a joint venture and he's putting the down payment and you're putting the credit. So it's more like a structure, is people sometimes think that it's 100%. I mean, usually nobody in the industry does 100% because it's a huge risk,
Exactly.
but you can always structure the deal the way that somebody else bring the 20%, the bank give you 80% and 100% of the rehab, so it's 100% deal,
Yeah.
not just not your money, but it can be structured that way.
And when it comes down to deals, one of the last questions, well, I have two more questions for you, gentlemen.
Okay.
What type of businesses that investors can get funding for?
Absolutely. Well, when it comes to funding, entrepreneur funding experts, it says it all in there because we come from so many different backgrounds: real estate, restaurants, cannabis. We're talking about, all different types of industries. Now, there's no limit to what there's two different sides to the story here, and I'll let Antonio explain the real estate side. But when it comes to getting access to capital, we can really work with any type of industry. There's money out there, right? There's even if it's a crazy idea, there's money out there. Yeah, we have a lot of really great partnerships, great friendships that have access to venture capitalists as well as investors. We know a lot of good people out in the entertainment world that we can make deals happen. But the key is that not all deals are good deals. And so my job is to talk to an individual, get their business plan, get a little bit of an idea of that flavor of the idea that they're trying to get. And based on my experience, I can give them my take as to what it is that we can do for them. And also from my take, what it is that I would recommend and where to get access to the money. So there is no limit to what I can do for them. I know for real estate investors, it could be a little bit different, but I'll let Antonio kind of explain a little bit more towards that.
Yeah, for real estate investing, there is a lot of money out there. There's a lot of lenders that they can, give you loans. The best way to put it is, how you structure the loan. Because not every lender does all the deals. Some of them they're gonna do fix and flip. Some of them are gonna do rentals. Not everybody's gonna do mixed use or multi-unit. So that's where we come in as an expert and say, you know what, I can do this deal based on this. We'll check the credit. And so we kind of funnel those deals through the right lender. And the other thing is that, we already know guidelines. We already know who does what kind of credit, what's the highest LTV. So that will help, a client to navigate through all these lenders because it is easy to go on Google and just Google hard money lenders and you're gonna come up with like hundreds. But the thing is not everybody is gonna close your deal, you know. And we had, like Jose said, we have partnership with a lot of these lenders that we know that they can close and they can close fast, or at least we have a timeline on when can we close the deal and how can we structure it, because it doesn't mean closing a deal, putting 40% down, then closing a deal, putting 20 or 10% down, because the down payment is always, something that we as investors, we're looking to get less of that. If it's a 10% down payment, it's much better because I have more money to work on that deal.
More money
So
play, leverage, the
yeah,
power of leverage.
exactly. So that's why what we do is very important because we kind of we're the second eyes on the deal, and we know if it's gonna go through or not, and we're gonna have an idea of if that deal can be funded, because like I say, anybody can say, oh yeah, we can do that, and then at the end, they don't deliver. So most of the time, 98% of our deals close because we know where to send them, and we closed more than 500 deals, in the last 3 or 4 years. So experience make a huge difference. So that's why we come in and we can, steer, the new clients and the old clients and everybody else, where they can close their deals. So that's, that what makes, us, let's say, really good at what we do.
Yeah, the other thing that I just want to add, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but at the end of the day, it's all about putting it together, because without partnerships, that's why they must, they need to know you, because at the end of the day, you have access to all of these networks, funding, real estate, cannabis. You got nonprofits over here. You got access to, different articles that you can. I'm not gonna say too much because that's on your. I'm not gonna steal your sunshine there, but there's so it's about the network. It's about the network, and that's kind of what you mentioned in the beginning, where you were explaining a little bit more towards why you started your company or what it means. And that's what we're here to do. People are not just here to hire a funding company, they're here to hire a partnership.
Exactly. I think joint ventures are everything in true, genuine relationships. I'm so happy that we connected on Clubhouse, and I just can't even believe, like, just already in a few days, we're at the point of almost what, a little over 11 million that's about to happen in the next couple of days.
Wow.
So that's that's going to be really cool. So I'm really excited about that, and many people coming our way. I did want to ask a question though. What's the craziest thing that you've had from an investor that actually was accepted because it just made sense? But what's the craziest thing that came your way
Oh my
for
God.
funding?
Yes. So I would say that one of the craziest things, now it's a good crazy, a good type of crazy. It's actually it came from a recent deal that we've done. It's for a new construction deal. And as Antonio and many real estate investors that are looking at this video, they may or may not know, construction loans can be kind of challenging sometimes. And so the way that we structure this particular deal is where we ended up giving this person up to $350,000 with no collateral, right?
Hmm.
This person, I'm just gonna say he had guts because he purchased a lot for $40,000. All right, spend all of his money on this particular lot, and he had no other income, no money, nothing. And in order for you to get qualified for a construction loan, you really need to have some sort of cash because we're not going to give you a construction loan if you don't have any money. And so, long story short, we were able to raise the $350,000 in cash. All right. And then this is after the evaluation, putting everything together. Now we're going to give him an extra. Hopefully, we once everything gets approved, it should be at about at least 400,000. So the value of the property is going to be about 600,000, but the amount of money that is being given to him is closer to 700,000 just to build the property. It doesn't mean that he's going to use it because he's only going to use 350 because that's how much it costs to actually build the property. But we actually ended up giving him way more money than he needed to build the property. So that's an ideal situation.
No, that's impressive. Like, I know, I know there are many people that are seeing this that are gonna just come with like a whole bunch of questions, like, what do I need to do to, get started for my first deal or my next deal? What would be, let me see, my brain just went dead for a second. Uh, what would be as far as what the next steps, as far as what somebody would need to do in regards to, getting set up? How was that process? Because I know many people, we don't want our credit run. We don't want it a whole bunch of times so that way it's like negatively impact. What
Yep,
makes, well, you already know why, but I'm going to ask you, what makes your company special?
absolutely. So first and foremost, it is our experts. All right. We're not just doing this because we started this about a year ago. We've been doing this for way over 10 years. I know Antonio has been in the real estate industry doing deals himself for way over 20 years now. And as a matter of fact, we were one of the companies that some of the real estate investment clubs would go towards to put the deal together. I'm not talking about just the funding, I'm talking about putting the deal together. So it's about the team of experts that you really come together to build your deal because everybody wins when the deal comes through. And the better the rates, we're not expecting anyone to take any deal unless it makes sense. And in real estate, you really make most of your money when you're purchasing the deal up front. If you buy a really bad deal and the numbers don't make sense, no matter how much of a good interest you're going to get, it's not going to make sense. So, that's one thing that you're going to be getting from us is the experts that come behind our brand, behind our company, behind the joint ventures that we have and the partnerships. But also keep in mind that we're not running any credits. The first thing that we would recommend you do is there is a particular form below this video or around this page that is tied into this partnership that we have. And I would recommend going ahead and filling this form out. This is going to be for a free consultation. In this consultation, we'll figure out what type of funding you will need, whether it be term loans, lines of credit, hard money loans, whether it be a construction loan. We want to make sure that we help you and that we fit you with the right program that is suited to your deal. That's the first step because we don't want to run your credit, and we're not a company that, hey, let's go ahead and run your credit like crazy to see if you qualify. Even after you get approved, let's say that we decided to move forward with you and we say, hey, I think you're a good fit, we're still going to take you through the process. We're going to take a look at your scope of work. We're going to take a look at making sure that you have enough money for the down payment. Where are you getting your money from? Tell us a little bit about your exit strategy. And you don't have to share everything, but we want to make sure that we give you the most value and that we try and help you as much as we can, not because we're trying to get you funded, but because we also want to be a partner in your deal in terms of helping you through the process with our information and our skills, and who knows, maybe even our connections.
I love it. I love it. I definitely want to thank you, gentlemen, for all of us getting together today to speak to everyone. I'm super excited just about all the things that we're doing now, all the things we're doing in the future to help more investors. Because, as you know, with COVID and all this weird 2020 situation that the whole world went through, there are so many hungry people that are wanting just more. Whether that, whatever their why is, the why is very important. Many times it's for personal growth, many times it's for family. So, definitely, um, I really appreciated this, guys.
Yes, thank you so much, Rosalind. Thank you for having us. And then Antonio, thank you so much for joining us as well and in helping me answer some of these questions. Conclude our episode, and we appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you, everyone.